Sup, it's Hallie, and welcome back to Undercurrents. When we last left off, we had finished the Natsuki route, so now we're just gonna pick right up with the Sayori one, I guess. Save Yuri for last, since she's my favorite and all. I guess we're picking the Wuthering Heights, then.
Picking Wuthering Heights, I head off towards the lockers.
And away they go! Yep. So if this is anything like how the other route was structured, I imagine there will be a fair bit of skipping at the beginning, and a fair bit of skipping at the end, and then a whole lot of unique in the middle. But goodness, hopefully Sayori's route focuses a little more on her than Natsuki's route did. Like, jeez, Natsuki's route felt like it was almost more about Amelia and Sayori than it did Natsuki. But whatever. We'll see where it all goes eventually, I guess. Alright, we do need to make sure we get a different poem, so we can, like, get a unique scene, I guess. That's how that works. We, like, save before the thing. Alright, yeah, and this is still the same as before, right? Yeah, it doesn't change between routes. For a second I was worried we got the screen stuck in that bright flash, but it went away, finally. Alright.
Sayori's looking out the window, seemingly lost in her thoughts. Her expression is difficult to decipher. Although largely wistful, I spotted being punctuated by what looked like little twinges of hopefulness. Little bursts of nostalgic mirth, as indicated by the intermittently upturning corners of her mouth. Or maybe I'm just projecting how I'm feeling onto her, hoping that she's feeling the same complex mix of emotions that's been welling up within me the moment I saw her here. The feelings swell as I watch her scribbling on her paper. Her posture and hand movements are practically unchanged from how they used to be. Back when she wrote all those so bad they were good or pastiche scripts of the stuff we used to watch on TV, or on the TV. Hoping they would win her the Pulitzer, or at least get her hired as showrunner. I sigh and turn away. Such fun times those were. Will they ever be ours to know again? Who knows, really? How are we all doing?
Skipping. Skipping along. I don't think we've gotten this one before. This one must be Monica's, right? We got Yuri's and Sayori's, so yeah, we lucked out. We got Monica's.
Dark, and darker, my vision fades. I watch my hair float about me, a great strangling web of light flowing through water like a noose of silk. I run my soft fingers across the hard wood, feeling the grain like concrete against my all-too-weak bones. My legs kick against the sides of my impromptu coffin. I feel as helpless as a fish in a net. My eyes start glinting softly in the dark water. My nails cut lines into my boreal prison. My lips sealed against the water, ever sealed. But even then, water slips through, suffocating me. The pressure pushes the door from opening. I am helpless, prisoner to this wood chest. As my vision swims, I only wish I could do the same, instead of being stuck here, buried deep beneath the waves.
Yeah, it was Monica.
You figured it out. I permit myself to beam with satisfaction. It isn't every day that I get to emerge from a bout of mental gymnastics on par with the school's resident prodigy. I'm so glad. Here I was worrying that I might have ventured a little far off from my usual tack this time around. It wasn't all that obvious to me at the start, I must admit, but I thought back to the story you showed me yesterday, and on close observation, some of the stylistic elements lined up. The abstract format, the stream of consciousness style, the handwriting. So I latched onto those clues and made my choice. Merely okay in English, Oh, you know, one really shouldn't blow one's own trumpet. Sometimes there's no harm in making it known that you actually have a trumpet. I'm blushing now, though not simply from embarrassment, and can't help but avert my eyes from Monica's dancing emerald ones. As flattered as I am, it almost feels like a little too much. I have to ask though, MC. Yes? Was it just the style that gave me away? Or was there anything else? I blink, perplexed. I'm not sure I follow. Sometimes it's more than just the writing style that makes an author's work identifiable as theirs. You mean like A personalized touch, some elements from their own experiences. A dash of their heart and soul. It can be more than just a dash sometimes. But yes, you've got the right idea. An outpouring of deep-seated emotion that infuses the work, linking it inextricably with the author's own being. Like Shakespeare once said, for I knew I could take my broken heart and place it on the stage of the globe and make the pit cry tears of their own. I blink again, pondering her words. Good to know that I'm on the right path, at least. Makes me feel a little less lost. To answer your original question, however, no, I can't say that anything apart from the style was what clued me in. That may be the gospel truth, though the more I think about it, the more seeds of doubt begin to slowly creep into the vines of my mind. I'd be hard-pressed to equate anything about Monica with the content of the poem itself, the contents of which being somewhat morbid, the more I consider it. Monica wears an odd expression as she considers my answer. She almost looks relieved to hear it, and yet disappointed as well. That's good then. Thank you, MC, for being so insightful. You really are shaping up to be a great fit for this club. You're very welcome, Monica. This pleasure is all mine. I think that the whole exercise ended well. Although, as with yesterday, I'm left wondering about more than a few things. The rain comes to an end.
And so does our unique content. No, not really.
Grabbing my book from my bag, I look around at the room. There's a solemn quietness to the air, like a somber violin melody. I wouldn't go so far as to call it sad, by any stretch, but relaxing? Not likely. The girls have all sat down, taking out their own books. I'm on the verge of following suit, but I know there's something I need to do first. Something I should have done a long, long time ago. Without so much as a warning, I plunked my seat next to Sayori. It's a little crowded, but that had never bothered us before, had it? As I look toward her, she tenses up. Looking my way, her hair swishes with the movement. Hey, Molly. How's it going? Yeah, all right. I figured it would be a good time to catch up, you know. Something about Sayori's demeanor catches me a little off guard. While seemingly amenable to my presence earlier, she seems uncomfortable now that we're this close up. I mean, no kidding. I haven't talked to her in years. Of course she'd be weirded out by me just plonking my ass right next to her. What was I thinking? Just be cool, me. Just pretend like no time has passed. It'll be fine. I mean, if you don't want to, I can give you some space. No, it's fine. She violently grabs my sleeve as I attempt to get up. Don't what? Never mind. Her smile is probably the most forced thing I've ever seen, but she really wants me to stay. All right, you win. What are you reading? Oh, it's a book. Yeah, I got that. It's, about, a kid. Yeah, a kid who? You haven't read the book, have you? No. Unbelievable. And yet that's so like her. Well, if you haven't started yours, did you want to read with me? Yeah, sure. Her smile is sweet, and it reminds me of the sweetest girl No, not opening that can of worms, not today. Is something wrong, Mel? Mel? Shit, that's nostalgic. I was about to ask you the same thing, actually. Well, assuming both of our answers would be the same, let's skip over that. Wanna read with me? Yeah, that was why I walked over. I shuffle closer to Sayori, clutching my own book. Holding it out, I turn the page. As I do, she inches even closer to me. It's almost like we're connected at the hip. We slowly read through the first chapter. It isn't my usual cup of tea, but I read the entire thing last night, so I'm pretty familiar with it. As I continue reading, I hardly notice the proximity to Sayori. It was as if we were meant to be that nearby. That is, until something changes. I feel a soft pressure on my shoulder and my body tenses. Glancing through my peripheral, I see her head neatly resting on my shoulder. Her face is right next to mine. What do I do? Do I leave her there? Is she still reading? Would that be rude? You can't be serious. I don't want to disturb her, but... Oh. As the reality in front of me starts to sink in, something becomes abundantly clear to me. Her shampoo is wafting into my nose, and I can't describe it outside of sweet. It smells like roses, like someone took a sample of the most beautiful things in the world and combined them. Oh no. Stop it, you can't do that again. My sudden movement disturbs Sayori, causing me to panic more. The jerk causes the chair to lean backward, and I instinctively reach for the closest thing to support me. Sayori turns beet red. As I look, I notice my hand is holding her hip. Sorry, As I start to pull away, I feel a hand placed on my own. That's all right. No, it isn't. I'm going to have a nosebleed in a second, Sayori. In my infinite wisdom, I start to pull away again. And this time, with Sayori attached, I realize it's too late, and that if I keep going, we're both going down. Sayori, clasping my hands, pulls me closer, angling herself upright. It's enough to prevent us from falling, but now we're centimeters from each other's faces. Red alert! All hands retreat! And yet, I can't stop myself. It just feels so right. It's been so long since we were this close. I can't help but feel like this was meant to be. I start to lean closer. How have agonized over this? Do I dare to even gaze upon such long since undisturbed soil? How can I even dare to think such a thing after? I focus my eyes and I realize something. Her eyes are closed. Is she giving me permission? Is that what this is? Or am I misinterpreting this? Sayori, I can't help but gaze at her. I can't see her eyes, but her soft hair begging me to reach out. Her soft hands still clasping mine. And her soft smile, they all beckon me. But I can't, not this time. I place a hand on her shoulder. Her eyes flutter open and a sad look crosses her face. Before it turns a shade of embarrassment. She moves to get up, but I gently grab her hand. I'm sorry, but can you stay here for a while? Yeah. Sayori sits back next to me, a small but noticeable distance away. It feels lonely over here somehow. Okay, everyone.
Skip. An awkward moment with a girl we used to love.
Is it time already? Ugh, fine. Time to get up. Pulling myself from slumber, I draw the curtains and prepare my routine. School today as usual. Well, as usual as it gets, I suppose. I'll admit, the thought of graduating in just over 6 months terrifies me. The boss has been helping me come up with a plan, but I know I want to go to university. What I'm going to do, how if I know?
What am I going to do?
But I know it will be something. Something good. Something worth doing. Ugh, imagine getting sentimental this early in the morning. Couldn't be me. With my morning pep talk over with, I set off for my shower. Gotta be prepared for today. I'm not sure why, but it feels like it's gonna be a big day. As I leave, something stops me. Sayori's place is just there. Maybe I should ask her to walk to school with me. I mean, it would be polite, considering she lives right next to me. Or would it? We haven't really talked in years. I really don't want to think about that right now. I might leave it for the day. Best to head off for school in case I'm late. Maybe I'll ask her at the club today. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Be smarter than just knocking on the door, at least. Alright, let's do that. It would be better for her, wouldn't it? Than just barging into her house, I mean. Hell, I haven't been inside her house in years, but what I do remember is how similar it is to mine. Not perfectly identical, of course. Her family had a different taste in furniture and decor than mine ever did. Except for her living room.
Also, one second. I needed to... Not perfectly. Hold on. Where was it? I guess I only imagined. I thought I saw something out of line there. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I've packed away or sold most of that old garbage anyway. Yeah, let's hide that demon away again. That's, twice this morning? Seeing Sayori again must have awakened it. I don't know how I feel about that, if I'm honest. Maybe catching up with Sayori isn't such a good idea. What am I thinking? She was my best friend. How could I even consider backing out now? Sayori was once my entire world. It brings back memories just being in the same room as her. She was a good friend. the greatest of friends, and that's why I can't just back off. Even if those days are dead, perhaps there's a chance. No, stop, bad me. Those thoughts need to be killed off if I'm going to hang out with Sayori again. That was a long time ago. I feel my watch beep, indicating the alarm set for school. Geez, what am I thinking? I gotta get to school before I'm late. I rush off down the road, though I could have sworn I noticed Sayori's curtain move. Nah, must have been my imagination. Well, here I am again. I didn't really have to convince myself to come back. The girls here are all really cool. Natsuki's got some charm with her brash and outlandish personality. She strikes me as someone who's actually pretty introverted, though. Maybe the club brings out another side to her. Yuri, on the other hand, is pretty introverted, even inside the clubroom, though something tells me she's kind of happy that way. And then there's Monica. Where do I begin? We talked a bit while we were in class last year, but we never really sat down and became friends. That just makes it all the more confusing as to why she would ask me to join her. Hey, I'm not complaining. She's been really welcoming. Maybe something I said last year struck a chord with her. Either way, she's been really good to me so far. I don't want to mess that up. Which means working out how to talk to Sayori. Properly, I mean. We barely talked yesterday, just read together. Oh. I feel my cheeks flush as I remember how close we got. I mean, we almost... Man, that was close. I don't know what I would have done if I'd been put in that situation again. Probably something stupid. Yeah, like last time.